What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Live Wealthy, back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels to look out for, and then what the future for the Apple stock could look like based on those. So real quick, if you enjoyed these videos, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I try to do these videos on a daily basis and your support really helps me out. We'll get right into the video. So today was an overall, again, another sideways day for Apple. We've kind of seen these over the past week or so, a little over a week at this point, I think. But we were up 61 cents for the day, 0.52%. Comparing that to the NASDAQ was up 0.87%. The Dow was up 57 points, so also basically flat. And then the S&P was up about half, or 0.42%, 42 basis points, or $1.50 in the S&P. So let's take a look at kind of what happened throughout the course of the day. We opened up in the around the 118, and we fell pretty hard right out the gate. We fell pretty hard. Again, if you've been watching my videos, you know this, but I'm going to repeat it for those of you that might be new. We're looking at three sort of lines or points, right? So 117, 119, and 120, 150. Those are sort of the 3 points that Apple has been using as support, resistance, or consolidating around those points. So when it was dropping, the point we were watching for is 117. 116.99 here, 116.81 is where I actually found support, and then came up, went right back to that level, and then we pushed up, right? So made it above this 117 mark, pushed up, made it above VWAP, and then from that point on, we would push up a little bit, then there'd be a little bit of a sell-off going up to the VWAP, right? But above the VWAP, going up, visiting VWAP, going up, visiting VWAP, which is personally what I enjoy. I enjoy kind of seeing that, because if a stock keeps going up, right, and it's far separated from the VWAP, I don't know if the stock's going to continue doing that or if it's going to come visit the VWAP. So for me, validating the VWAP a couple times throughout the course of the day is not necessarily a bad sign, right? So we did that once here, twice, three times. This time we kind of hung out around the VWAP, kind of went below it. But then for the second half of the day, right, we came up, came down, this time didn't hit VWAP, which is great. And then we pushed up, and then we kind of closed strong in the mid 118s, hitting 119.04 at some point. Now, one thing that I'm looking out for next is whether we can actually, again, recapture that 119 level, or if we fall again towards the 117 level. So let's take a look at the daily chart, and we'll take a look at some key indicators that we can watch out for to kind of see. Now today marks the third day, actually fourth day, where we had a lower high, and the third consecutive day where we've got a lower low. So 3 days of lower high, lower low, 4 days of lower highs every day. So, not really looking too hot there. I did take a put position I'll share with you guys, as I've done multiple times this week. Kind of just looking at patterns, right? Trends, if it going up and then falling right out the gate, stuff like that. So one thing we see here is if we take a look at the candle wicks, right, they're perfectly bouncing off of our channels. That's the reason we have the channels there. They act as good support, they act as good resistance. When it went down to 117, great support. When it came up to 119, great resistance. So just something to keep in mind as you're kind of trading. So if we are going to go up, right, the high would be today's high, which is 119.06, kind of aligning with that line. Then it would be yesterday's high of 119.82, then 120.67, then 120.99, so 121. So those are sort of points to look out for, right? If we're fast approaching them, are we going to knock them out, or are we going to kind of hit that point and fall back again as we did once already? And once we get to that, we've got 122, and then we scroll all the way back to mid-October. We've got the 123.03 and the 125.39 that we would knock out. But there's a lot of little resistant points coming up from the previous couple days that we'd have to knock out kind of before we get there. On the lower end, we've got today's low of 116.81, right? We've got the 117 line in general. That should act as good support. We've got this low point over here in the mid 116s, and then we've got the 114s from a trading price perspective. And then if we take a look at our moving averages, we've also got the 115.32 and the 116.03 as good support. And then the last we look at is the EMAs, which The 8 EMA comes in right at 118.41, pretty close to where we closed, right? We're writing the 8 EMA. The 21 comes in at 117.18, 34 at 116.53, and then 55 at 114.95. And then if we fall all the way down to it, we've got the 89 EMA at 110.99. So we've got a lot of good support down there, a lot of good resistance, or a lot of resistance up there too. So the key thing is it has to go one way or another. And then if I kind of scroll out to a 1 month chart, and let me get rid of this indicator here. Actually, let me scroll out even more, all the way down to September maybe. Okay, yeah, what I personally see is we are kind of seeing the forming of a bull flag, right? So if I take this kind of coming closer here, and then you know, kind of doing the same thing on right, bull flag forming, but there's a lot that sort of concerns me, and that is you know, the stock not really doing much, why it hasn't fired yet, and a lot of those things. So you know, I'll continue monitoring this bull flag. Maybe it'll fire soon. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go up. It's a flag. It could go up, it could go up, fake, and then come right back down. It could go down, right? But that's something that I'm monitoring sort of as time goes by, as we're trading in a narrower and narrower range, just to kind of see what the stock will do. If it wants to take off anytime soon, hopefully we can be there to profit off of that. And then the other thing that I wanted to just sort of mention is tomorrow is options expirations day. So it's November 20th, which is the third Friday of the month. So there could be weird things going on in the market tomorrow. Just something to be aware of if you are trading in the market tomorrow. And last thing, you know, the other thing is, with that huge fall today, I don't have a 70% trade every day, right? I share them with you. Usually they're 10, 15, and not 10, 15%. And that's usually what I'm happy with. I got lucky yesterday. I had one. I bought one put. Usually I'll buy like a couple. I think a couple of days ago I shared with you guys I bought two that time. But I bought one because I wasn't entirely sure, and it fell you know, pretty hard. So when the stock price falls, put prices go up. And so I came out of that today with $137, which is 71%. The key is, you know, more the percent than the dollar amount, because if I had put, you know, 10 times that, I would have made, you know, 10 times more. But the key is really the percentage, right? So on $100 account, on a $100 account, right? Or excuse me, on 191, because that's what I bought it for, $137 is 71%. So the percentage is really how you can, you know, start looking at how you're growing your account, not from a pure dollar perspective, right? Because someone can make $1,000, but if they're making that on a $100,000 account, that's 1%. If you're making $1,000 on a $10,000 account, much more impressive. So that's just something to keep in mind as you guys are trading this week. Hope you guys are staying green this week. It's been there's been a lot of opportunity out there, not necessarily with Apple, although there is kind of intraday movements with Apple, right? Overall, it's been pretty flat. But with other stocks like NIO, you know, Tesla for sure, as it got included in the S&P and pushed upwards of 500 today. So hope you guys are taking advantage of some of that and staying green. Hope you guys are all having an amazing week, and let's remember to be a bit better every single day. And until next time.